Now, Ross, you know your idea about you get bigger and bigger and bigger and cut a diet? I would actually apply to that song. If we could just surrender and let go like that, that would be my wish for us. We let all that fear and the doubts and the blame and the guilt and the illness and all that stuff get so big, if I could just say, let it go right now, just pop a pin on the balloon, you're done. Wouldn't that be really nice? Let's just imagine that. That's a big balloon and all your junk is in it, right? Just take a big pin and go, and then let it go. It's such a weird topic, letting go and surrendering, because that's exactly what we want to do, and I don't know anything for a human being that's hard. I don't know why that is, but it's hard for us to let go. Surrender, it's not about giving up, it's really just about letting go. I want to start making it easier. So my topic today, live and let die. You know, those of you who know the Paul McCartney song in your head, you can kind of sing it. I would sing it right now. I couldn't get the tune this morning. I started trying to play it. The old Paul McCartney song about live and let die. Well, the song has something to do with it, but I really do like the title, and I keep hearing that song playing in my head over and over. What I'm really tapping into is this whole idea of Halloween, which deals with dying and death. Strange that we dress up in all these weird costumes. I like actually the Mexican version of the Dia de los Muertos better. It makes more sense to me to honor our ancestors who have already passed. But I am going to kind of grab onto that idea of death and dying and put it into this topic today. But I'm going to move it from the ghoulish idea of dying, and I'm going to move it into a very practical idea for us on a daily basis. How we can live and let die. What we're going to let die now is all the things we put in that big balloon just a moment ago. The limiting beliefs, the old thoughts, the doubt, the shame, the guilt, the emotions that are stuck in there from the past, the petty annoyances that might come on a daily basis, the judgments. That's all those things in that balloon, if you can imagine that. I'm going to pop it today and just let that all go. Now before I come back around to there, I need to tie this in. All month long, in some way, shape, or form, I've been speaking about the power of our word. The very first week was thought equals creation. And I gave us the recipe for life, which, just to refresh our memory, was this. Start with a single thought, right? Positive one, of course. Add in the positive feelings, especially love. Blend in a big scoop of conviction. Fold in faith and belief. Sprinkle in some patience. Enjoy a lifetime of servings, and use this recipe again and again and again. This was a good reminder of us, and I know it got put out on the email on the website, so you can go grab it there. I also have some hard copies in the hall somewhere if you want to take those home. But this whole topic was about our thought equaling creation.
That should be in your diet book.
It should be in your diet book? Put that in your diet book. Yes, because that's the process of it, right? It's the process of life right there in that little recipe. So the next week after that was a meaningful life, making our life have meaning. So it wasn't just that our thoughts were creating like stuff in our life, but what's the deep meaning behind the stuff or behind the material good for us? And then last week was way more than positive thinking, reminding us that positive thinking is a very good start, but we are way, way more than positive thinking. All three of those were about the power of our word. So I want to just take a minute and talk about the power of our word. When we say in prayer, you hear me or the practitioners sometimes say, I speak my word. We're not talking about words. Because I could say lunch. That's a word. I could say money. That's a word. I could say health. That's a word. We're not really talking about the words that come out of our mouth, are we? It's not that. It's much more than that. In the spiritual context, we're talking about the intention. I speak my word. I speak my intention. I speak my conviction. I speak my commitment. I speak my word. Especially when we're praying and doing affirmations. So if you've been in foundational class or more classes, you know that that's one of the phrases that I encourage you to use. I speak my word with passion and conviction. If any of you ever listen to any hip-hop or rap music, which I don't really, but I am kind of tuned into stuff going on in our culture, you might hear somebody talking and they're making a statement, and the other person will say back to them, word. Right? Right? When I goes, word. It's like, preach it, sister. Testify, brother. Yeah, that's right. Isn't that what you hear in that back? Word. I don't do a very good imitation of a game, but you get the idea. I hear that as, that's right. Testify, right? Testify. Word. So that's really what we're talking about, the power of our word. Consider this one. If I say to you, I give you my word. It's not the word, right? I give you my word means my promise, my intention, my commitment, my conviction. Same thing. So the power of our word, I give you my word. Speaking the power of our word is that intention that's behind it. Let's try giving ourselves our word. I give you my word. I give you my word. I give myself my word. I'm going to change this thing for the better. I give me my word. I give me my promise, my conviction, my commitment, and my intention. I would like us to apply this idea of speaking our word every single day. And I'm going to do one thing from Ernest Holmes today, and I've been using this all month long. Until we awake to the fact that we are one in nature with God, one in nature, I'm not all that God is, but all that I am must be God's nature. Until we awake to the fact that we are one in nature with God, we shall not find the way of life. Until we realize that our own word has the power of life, we will not see clearly. Our own word has the power of life. Until we really get that, we won't see clearly. So, why is that so important to today's Live and Let Die? When I'm speaking my word for a brand new experience of life, something no longer useful must die. And I'm using the word die today rather than just saying let go. Let go is passive in some ways. I mean, it's not easy to do, but it's passive. I can let that go. No, I want it to die. I mean, it doesn't come back. So when I speak my word, I ask myself that, okay, I'm speaking my word for this new experience. What inside me, what thinking, what belief, what stuck emotion must die out. Because they're not going to live together. If I say, I speak my word for an abundant life, but I still have hangovers that say resources are limited, what do you think happened? Nothing. Nothing happens. If I'm speaking my word on one hand for the greatest good, but I'm not willing to let the old thing die, nothing's going to move us. I speak my word for an abundant life, and I let the idea of limiting resources die. Now this is clear, and I can speak my word for my abundant resources. That's what I'm getting at. We say things like, I want the experience of a healthy, happy, significant relationship. But then we follow it with something like, but all men are jerks. Or women, or, fill in the blank, whatever you're. Go, Billy, are you claiming it? Put your arms out to it. Okay, let's say, I want a healthy, happy relationship. But then we have some old emotions that say love is hard. Well, which is it? I want a healthy, happy relationship, or love is hard. You can't have them both. Or if you track the relationship and you say love is hard, you're going to make it 10 times more work than it needs to be. Yeah, I'm not saying there's not work in a relationship, but we don't want to have the old stuck emotion about love being difficult. So when we are speaking our word for some new experience, let's ask ourselves, what old thing is no longer useful do I need to let die so that I can bring this new thing in? Here's a phrase to remember that's easy. One phrase, we must let go of the lesser in order to have the greater. We must let go of the lesser experience to have the greater experience. You get to check that out for yourself. Us human beings are not always ready at the time we think we're ready, which is why it's a process. We say we want it, but do we really want it? Maybe we're not ready. So maybe right now we say, I'd like the new experience, and that's going to have to be enough right now to say that I want it. When we're ready to really move into it, to embody it, to embrace it, to live that new experience, we will know. And at that